Oh, we up. All right, let's go. Welcome back. Thank you for coming back. If it's your first time, welcome. If it is your multiple time coming here, shout out to you. Hello to you as well. By the title of the video, as you can see, we're speaking about Valentine's Day today. Valentine's Day was yesterday. Um, and the title of the video is For Better or For Worse, a guideline to surviving Valentine's Day. If you This is what I think this is the second part of my series of the Valentine's Day series on this channel. I have another video on this channel that's also titled Surviving Valentine's Day, and so I think I'm gonna make it a tradition to like keep on going to making videos like this basically because I think they're really cool. I love having like yearly videos that like can build on the next. So I have this one. I have the birthday ones, the 20, what do you call 22, the yearly reviews. Like I love having um like landmark videos that are like yearly. I love that. I really love that. So welcome to this edition of Surviving Valentine's Day. My name is Hans, and yeah, we're just gonna go through some. Oh man, we're just gonna go through a couple of guidelines. I just came up. I have a couple of notes that I not notes but bullet points that I wrote down. That have like experiences that have helped me today. Things that God has told me or spoke to me about. God has helped me, encouraged me with. Just those different type of. Oh, also like things that I've seen on like different videos as well. So I just like today was. If I can go to today, yesterday, basically being Valentine's Day, it wasn't the best day for me. It was a terrible day. Let me just be plain. It was a terrible day for me. I think I spent most of the day sad. I spent most of the day moping around and just being a bit depressed. I think depressed. Yeah, I think depressed is a good word to use. A bit of background in case you have not watched my two other videos which but I recently or no this is it recently 3 months back November I recently broke my girlfriend broke up with me basically. So this is when in November, so it's actually damn it's a long time. That's 3 months. November, December, Jan, Feb. Fuck, that's 3 months. It's 3 months. So is that recently? It's not recently. You know what, so it's not recent, but it sucks. It still sucks. I think I don't know if it goes away. I wonder if it goes away. But like that feeling of like, I think especially when like someone breaks up with you, I wonder if that feeling goes away. Yeah. So I guess that's a bit of context to why I'm feeling terrible, so terrible today. But yeah. So I guess today was very difficult. I think because um and just to like also speak about like with breakups as well, there's a lot of unresolved questions, feelings, thoughts, ideas, plans. Bro, raise your hand if you didn't think you'd be single this Valentine's. Wherever you are, just raise your hand. If you didn't think you'd be single, just raise your hand. If you didn't think, or if you thought you'd be in a relationship, or I didn't think I'd be alone. I don't even lie, and I think that's what makes it worse. That's what makes it worse. The thought of that makes it worse. Um, so it made the day a bit tougher for sure. Um, so yeah, so today was tough. I think one of the things is like the one of the thoughts that I've been having is like what I would have done or how we would have done it because it would have been our first Valentine. So it's like, those thoughts are there, and also, I think just like missing that relationship and intimacy. I think most of all as well, and just having someone there, like in that capacity, is something that was very. It was just playing on my mind. I'd say it was playing on my mind. So that's what I said. That's why I said today was a terrible day for me. But and it got worse. That was crazy. It got worse. No, it got worse because I was scrolling on Instagram and I saw her. And when I saw her, it just like triggered even more like feelings of anxiety. Like I got like really weird anxiety when I saw her. It was very like weird because when I saw her, I literally had, like I even turned off my phone. Like I had to like I literally had to turn off my phone and I just stood up because it was that much for me, and it was very weird to it was very weird for me because, you know, as I said, it's been more than 3 months. So it's like, dog, why are we still like there? Like, why is my body reacting this way to a situation that's like done, right? And I think it was also a bit of embarrassment as well included in that. Like, bro, why the fuck am I still in the same position? Why can I like? Why can I be emotionless and like done? Like, how can I just see and not feel anything? It's like, damn, I'm still there. So that was something that really just messed me up. And so when I saw it, turned on my phone, I stood up. I just went to like I literally just went to the window, literally. And when I went to the window, and I think this is when I want to start bringing up the guidelines that I have. I have four guidelines, right? I have four guidelines that really helped me in today's journey, and how the difficulty, especially of Valentine's, just like the difficulty of that really helped me, that I want like to share with you guys as well. And so basically, when I went to the turned on my phone, went to the corner, my first reaction was to put on clothes. So as you can see, I'm not wearing anything underneath, and I was wearing only like my boxes underneath basically at that time. But like when I was experiencing that like intense feeling of anxiety, I just felt this need to put on clothes. I felt so naked. I really felt so naked, like, and not in a good way, but in a bad way. Like I just felt so naked, and it just made me feel terrible. And one of the things I did, which is the first guidance that I wanted to share with you, was I got naked. Now, the first guidance is I got naked. So in this feeling of like I want to just put on clothes, I even like took out some clothes. I took out like some jersey and stuff. I want to just put on clothes, but I in that moment, something just like said, no, you should get naked and like pray to God. And that's what I did. I just got butt ass naked, bro. I just stood in the corner, and I just started like praying. I wasn't anything like shouting anything. It was just like I wanted, and I think in that moment, what spoke to the most was in Genesis when Adam and Eve first sinned. One of the first things they did was to hide from God, and something that like clothes. Why my heart instantly ran to like wanting to put on clothes was me wanting to like hide from God, because I knew that I knew that the feelings I had were not. I didn't feel comfortable bringing them to God because I was low key embarrassed. I was low key embarrassed that I still felt that way. I was low key embarrassed that I was still dealing with especially how intense it was with those emotions. 3 months later, I thought I'd be better. I thought like I had like completely moved on from those feelings, but like for my body and my mind to have that reaction to seeing her was so it sucked. And so when I wanted to put on clothes, it just felt like me trying to cover myself from God seeing me. And so what I did by going naked was I wanted God, not just like physically but also like emotionally. I wanted God to see me. I wanted to also present myself to God. When shout out to God, yeah, shout out to God. God's the first question that God asked like Adam and Eve is like, where are you, right? And that was like for me when I got like completely naked, was I wanted to kind of like present myself to him, in just present myself to him naked, and just present myself to him like naked and everything. And I was like, and just talk to him and just be able to say, hey, this is what I'm going through. This is how I feel. I hate that I'm in this situation. I hate that I still feel like this. no one hates her, but I just hate the situation. And what do I don't hate her. I think I hate that you didn't fight for me enough, that God didn't fight for me enough and for that relationship enough. So it was like, just being like raw as possible. And I don't think I've ever said that before, which is crazy. But yeah, that was one of like the things which helped, which was at the core. And that's the first guideline. It's just getting naked with God and being as transparent as possible with Him. Being as transparent. I don't think you have to get naked. You don't have to get naked. But I got naked because that was where I was. Like I needed to get naked. But you don't have to if you don't feel like it, because you can still bare your heart to Him. But I would recommend it. Can I be honest? I would recommend, like, maybe when you're in your room or anything, but like get naked to pray. Like it helps so much. Like I've never done. That was my first time doing that, and I've never like, and the feeling of like experiencing that vulnerability with God was really really nice. So I think that's something I think just to think about, and to think about, I think in terms of our heart posture, is being more naked in front of God. And when He asks, where are you, being able to just freely present each and every emotion, negative, positive, things that we don't even know why we feel like this, because He knows us, right? So I think that's the first guideline that I wanted to share with you, that really really helped me today. Literally not like today, hours ago, literally hours ago, that I learned. The second one is learning to love yourself. Is it learning? What did I say? No, I said love it. Thank you. Fall in love with yourself. That's the second guideline that I have, that I wanted to that I learned today. Fall in love with yourself. So after I had gotten naked and done that, like prayed, I felt so much better. Like I felt so much better. I I went back, sat down. I was feeling much better. I was feeling good, and I started putting on clothes, right? And I eventually got to, like, I put on some pants, and then I was just walking around listening to some music. I didn't put a shirt on, and I looked at the blazer, and I was like, I wonder how it'd look if I like just put it on. I haven't put it on in a long time. Let me just put it on. And then, bro, when I put it on, I looked at myself in the mirror. I closed the buttons, and I was like, bro, I literally like was like, bro, I look so good. And it was just like, it was so weird. But I put on the suit, and I was like, bro, I feel so good. And I don't I feel so good, but I look so good. And I've dealt with a lot of self image issues. Is it self image? I think, yeah, self image issues, where I've never been able to like truly say, think that I'm handsome or anything. But when I put on this suit, and I'm not, and specifically without the shirt on, like I literally looked at myself like, bro, I'm a fine ass nigga, bro. I looked at myself, bro, I don't even lie. I was like, bro, I'm a fine ass nigga, dog. And I was so happy to like. I started looking at myself. I started like modeling a bit. I took a few pictures, dog, and in that moment, I started falling in love with myself. And and literally like maybe even 30 minutes before that, I was in the dumps, bro. And 30 minutes later, because, and truly it's only God who was able to like orchestrate such a beautiful moment. But I just started like falling in love with myself physically. And that led to me like also being like, no, like thinking about myself, my personality, and like thinking about the good characteristics that I have. And it was so beautiful, man. It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful. Uh, and I just like felt so happy. This is weird. It's such, I know, like, feeling happy and being happy is something which I think is can feel very simple, but I was happy. I was happy with myself. You know what I didn't need? It was the first time where I didn't need validation. I didn't need a girl or a guy or anything to be like, you look very handsome. I looked at myself and I was like, bro, I'm fine. I look fine, dog. Can you see my chest, bro? I said, like, I said, I look fine, bro. I was falling in love with myself, and it was the first time I didn't need anyone else to take me to that. Because people have told me, look, you're very handsome. People have told me that, but like, this is the first time where I'm the one telling myself, and I'm hyping myself up, and I'm, doing all of these things, and I appreciate God for leading me in that moment, for just helping me to be comfortable to get there, because it wasn't easy. It's not easy to, like, for me. It's not easy to do that, because as I said, self-image issues, things like that. It makes you instantly, when I say something positive in my head, how it works is like there'll be a voice that says, but this person might not think that, or that person might not think that, and that also f's me up as well. So I think for this first time when I put on this suit, when I looked at myself and I was like, bro, I'm a fine ass nigga, dog. It was the first time where I validated myself physically, and that was really, really, really. It's very powerful, honestly. It was really, really powerful, man. So, um, linking it back to Valentine's Day, right? I think one of the specifically people who are single and are feeling some type of way about it. One of like the most dangerous lies that happens is you start to forget how beautiful you are, or handsome you are, or sexy you are too. all, all the above, pretty, beautiful, or everything. Like, you forget that, and you forget how to tell yourself that, and to be confident in that, because low key, for me personally, I was waiting for someone else to say that, or I used to be. I used to wait. I used to be like, that used to be my validation. I would wait. I'd want someone else to say it, you know. And some is that twisted humbleness, I think, as well. I think it's also a bit of twisted humbleness where, yeah, I think it's also a bit of twisted humbleness too, in that sense. But instead of it's and so one thing that I want to put forward by sharing this like guideline is learn to fall in love with yourself, and find like that confidence in you, just you you finding that beauty in yourself, and not waiting for someone else to do it, because it's so easy to like want to be to and it's so easy to want someone else to do it, because even unintentionally or unconsciously you might be waiting to do it. But I really just encourage you, um, to fall in love with yourself physically, and also mentally, and like characteristics wise. But I do want to stress physically. I think that's, for me, today's about physical. I think, yeah, we can talk about the characteristics, but today I want you to know that if you're a girl, you're fine as girl. If you're a guy, you're fine as dude. That's literally where I want to just like, I really want to stress that. I need you to be able to tell yourself that, and really like say it, and like look at yourself and be like, bruv, how do people see me and they not? You see that type of issue. I need you to be on that type of time. That's the type of time that we need to be on in this type of situations. So yeah, just fall in love with yourself physically, like literally, just fall in love. Fall in love with your face, with your body, with certain body parts. Literally, just fall in love with yourself. It's gonna be gradual too, but fall. That's why you're falling. That's why you're falling. So keep falling in love every day. Just try. That's my that's something that I just want to focus on today. Is fall in love with yourself physically. All right. The next one is, 3. Is create your own joy. Create your own joy. Um. Oh, I think I should add it. Should I add it? Wait, I have a verse that I wanted to share, but I don't know if I should add it there or there. I'm gonna add it there. So, let me grab. And my Bible is here too. So I want to just say it. Psalm 139. Psalm 139 verses 14. I think it's 14. It's 14. Psalm 139:14. Hey, where is Psalms? Where is Psalms? Oh, damn. Yep. Oh, there we go. Psalm 139:14. It says, I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works. My soul knows it very well. Right. That's Psalm 139, verse 14. And just staying on that thing about falling in love with yourself physically. One thing I love about that verse is how much it really puts the onus on you to be the one to be like, I will praise you, for I am physically and wonderfully made. So I'm looking at myself and I'm like, bro, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. Every part of my body has been intentionally made. And God has just created this amazing, beautiful human being. And for that I will praise you, because good are your works, and my soul knows it very well. And because once you talk about yourself in that way, like it seeps into your soul, it seeps into everything. That is so powerful too. Like I think if you can just like catch, and I'm also talking to myself here, but if I can just like catch that, talking to myself positively and loving myself physically, it would literally like transform so much. I think it would transform so much. But yeah, that's the verse I wanted to share there. And the next one was, so the third guideline is creating your own joy. Creating your own joy. So the background to this is I was listening to Thought Digest by Kaya and Paul, and they were talking about breakups or heartbreak. They were talking about heartbreaks and the reason why heartbreaks hurt. And I think Kaya was the one who broke it down a bit, and she was just basically speaking about how um, the reason why you have heartbreak is because your brain has these neural pathways that have been created by relationships that have basically um, been pathways for joy. Your relationship was a pathway for joy, was a pathway for purpose, was a pathway for what's the word of placement? You had a sense of purpose, and you said a sense of belonging. There we go, a sense of belonging. And so when you take that away, there's so much. All of that is just left there. Those neural pathways, those natural pathways to the brain chemicals like dopamine, oxytocin, all of these like happy feelings. Now it's like you can't get to them anymore, right? And so the reason why I wanted to say create your own joy is because even though the relationships are really relationships seem like a very easy way to achieve the dopamines, the oxytocins, and all of that. You can still create that by yourself. You can still create that by first of all falling in love with yourself, as I said, but also doing things that excite you, doing things that make you feel like a place of belonging, and not centering yourself in a relationship to find these things. And also your mind. I think the mind is like being harsh with yourself in terms of just saying like, bro, I don't need a relationship to feel happy. I don't need the community, the same relationships that I can build with a boyfriend, the this or girlfriend, the the chemicals that I can get from that I can also get from my relationships with my family, with my friends, with a stranger, with church, with the church group, with me making a YouTube video, like literally dancing, singing, reading a book. It's literally like decentering relationships, romantic relationships, and removing that from being this source of that, or thinking in my head, because everything is in the head. Everything is in the head. Everything is in the head. Like decentering relations away from thinking that has to be the source of my happiness or joy. Like I can do it by myself and I can be proactive. My bad. But as I was saying, I can do things by myself. I can do things that without even needing anyone else or any other person, that will create my own joy. When I engage with a friend, when I connect with a friend, when I learn a new skill, when I learn glamorous, even when I sit by myself in silence, literally when I take a walk. And so I'm not in this prison of depression, and I'm waiting for a relationship to release me, or a relationship to now cause me to be joyful or anything. And I think that is so, that's the one, that's a guideline that I just wanted to share. And I'm also, for me as well, just to like help me to also grow in that, because my joy doesn't just come from a relationship. It should never just come from a relationship, because there's so much more to life than that. There's so much more to me. And oof, okay. There's so much more to me than just that, than a relationship. There's so much more. And I think I'd be doing a disservice. I'd be doing a disservice to myself if I just said that the only pathway to the certain feelings of joy, of love, of yearning to yearning. Shout out my guys on Twitter. Yearning is a buzzword on there, but I can find that yearning in so many different things, you know, in so many different situations. So, and not just in romantic relationships. I think that is something that I really wanted to push forward a lot, is create your own joy. Fight to create your own joy. Fight, and it's going to be a fight. It's going to be a fight. It's not going to come easy. It's going to be a fight. So fight to create your own joy. Fight, seek it. Don't be afraid to do it too. And if you are afraid, do it scared. Literally, do it scared. Don't be afraid to do it scared as well. Yeah, I think, like, and you realize like how much you can get so much, how much you can get so much out of life without being in a relationship. You know, and how I think even once you get to that place, for, and I think again I'm just thinking about myself, it's going to be easier to see other people in relationships. I think, if I'm going to be honest with you again, it's hard. It's hard seeing people in relationships right now. It's really hard. But I think if I just lock in on that, just finding my own joy, not because I think it's that feeling of you like missing out, fear of missing, FOMO, and also it's that fear of missing out, and how is there is what am I trying to say? Is that my portion? That's the only way I can put it. Is that my portion? Yeah, what is that my portion? Is that my portion? Is that, if it's not, okay, but I just, it's like, so when I see people in relationships, you know, those thoughts just flood your head, and I think it takes away from also sharing in that it does, it takes away so much in like sharing in like the beauty of someone of two people finding each other as well. I think that's also quite selfish. I think that's also quite selfish too. Yeah, it's actually, it's very selfish. Like, obviously, it's not happening like naturally, but choosing to stay there, I think, is when it would be selfish. Choosing to stay in that like position of you not trying to do